Hey moms, what's up? If you've been thinking about getting started as a mompreneur, I need you to just wait for like 2 seconds, okay? Maybe a little bit longer, but I really need you to wait. Watch this first and then start your journey. My name is Nella. Welcome to my channel, the ultimate channel for mompreneurship. Okay, everything that you could think of that falls under the umbrella of being a mom, being an entrepreneur, you can find it right here, like here. Okay, I decided to go ahead and make this channel because we aren't alone. You aren't alone. I felt like I was alone in my journey, and I knew somewhere out there's probably another mom, a single mom like myself, who is feeling the same exact way. So I decided to make my channel along with my Instagram, my TikTok, and soon coming the Sophisticated Mom podcast. Okay, so I got y'all covered, moms. I got y'all covered. But today we are talking about the 5 steps to becoming a full-time mompreneur. Step number 1, have a conversation with the people that's going to be involved. Whether you are a single mom, whether you are not a single mom, whatever the case may be, if you have a village, because we all know the saying, it takes a village to raise a child, right? We all know that if you have a village, have a conversation with them. Let them know, hey, I'm planning on going on this journey. Give them a specific time frame. Not saying that it's going to take you 2 weeks to go ahead and hit $1 million, but let them know, look, I need 60 to 90 days to be able to lock in. After these 90 days, this is what you guys can expect as a result. And have this conversation with your kids as well, because if you're not having the conversation with your kids who it's really going to affect, then they're just going to feel like mommy's just doing whatever she wants when she wants, and she's not involving us in it. And the best thing about this is, on your journey as mompreneurship, you can actually involve your kids, but that's a later conversation for a later day. Okay? Now, number 2. Create a routine and a schedule, okay? I know that we love being moms at home and everything else, and it's great to just let the kids run wild sometimes. But if you don't have a routine for yourself and if you don't have a schedule for the kids, you are going to feel like they are running you up a wall. The business is running you up the other wall, and you just feel like the house is coming and crashing down on top of you. And trust and believe, you're going to hate it. So, here's a couple tips for creating a routine for yourself and getting the kids on schedule. Now, first and foremost, as far as creating a routine for yourself, don't put so much on yourself at once. If you're saying to yourself, look, I want to be able to wake up at this time, I want to be able to have breakfast, eat, and by the time the kids wake up, and I want to make sure I have my skincare routine, it's a lot, okay? So drip different things onto your routine as time goes on. Now, typically, scientifically proven, it takes 30 days for an actual habit to form, okay? But we all know we're not waiting 30 days to add a new habit to our routine. So go ahead, add 1, 2, maybe 3 new habits, get consistent with them, and then add a couple more. Get consistent with those things. Now, what's going to happen in the midst of you getting consistent with these habits and creating a routine for yourself, you're going to start to develop, this is a big word that we all hate, discipline. Okay? You're going to start developing discipline, but that's going to be so key and so important. But we're going to talk about that a little bit later in the video. Now, as far as scheduling for the kids, I know kids, especially the older they get, the more involved in different activities they get. Scheduling can be a little bit difficult. But as long as you have a skeleton schedule, say that 5 times fast, as long as you have a skeleton schedule for your kids, you can plug in your business. Now, the reason I say this is because 9 times out of 10, the kids, especially once again, the older they get, they have more definite things than we do when it comes to our businesses. Okay. Now, of course, there's going to be times where we can't move or budge a business call or a meeting or whatever the case may be, depending on what your industry is. But the kids, soccer practice is usually the same time every single day for however long, okay? Basketball practice, the same exact thing. Now, for our little small ones, our little small kids, it's going to be easier to kind of get them on a schedule. My baby girl, she is very small. Well, not very small, but she's small. And getting her on a schedule has been so easy. Because of that, I have been able to put myself on a routine, okay? Now for me, I'm still working on getting up early so that I can get my workouts in. But as far as being able to do certain things like skincare routines and all those different things, I'm doing it, and in turn, she's wanting to get involved with it too. So she wants to wash her face for as long as mommy's washing her face. And she wants to have a little bit of perfume sprayed on her and all these different things, right? And that's okay. Like, you don't have to have a perfect routine. Your routine is going to match your day. It's going to match your needs. Don't feel like I have to have the best routine there is out there and I have to get up at 5 a.m. just like the rest of these moms out here. Look, if you're not a 5 a.m. person, do not push yourself to be a 5 a.m. person, okay? If your burst of energy happens at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, then that's when your burst of energy happens. Just make your routine and build your day around that. And that's cool, okay? But back to the scheduling. The scheduling for little ones, it's going to take a little bit longer. So it might take about 2, maybe 3 weeks for them to get consistent with it, because their consistency is going to depend on your consistency. My daughter, she's just now getting back to being able to go to sleep by herself at nap time. So for me, it's freeing up a lot of time for me to be able to get things done that I need to get done while it's quiet, okay? Like making certain phone calls. When I tell you guys, I made a phone call earlier and she was screaming and yelling and crying. And in my head, I was just like, never again. All of my important phone calls are going to happen at nap time, all right? So those are the first 2 parts. Number 3, automate what you can and delegate what doesn't need you. What do I mean? So if you don't already know, I am in the short-term rental business, Airbnb, for those of us that may not know what short-term rental is. And with that, I automate everything, okay? Everything is automated because I don't want to have to operate my business on an every single hour basis. I left my 9-to-5 job and I don't want another 9-to-5 job, okay? What I want is for my business to operate on its own, and that's exactly what it does. It doesn't need me to be hands-on all day, every single day. Now, for certain parts of my business, they can be automated where I don't have to be so hands-on, but other parts of my business, I have to delegate them to somebody else. I don't have to do it necessarily, but somebody else can do it. And that allows room for me to be able to do more income producing activities. So that is something that is very, very important. Where sending email blasts out or creating email templates, that's not necessarily income producing activity. It is in the beginning, don't get me wrong, but that's something that you could honestly go hire somebody on Upwork, Fiverr to do for you. You don't have to be the one to do it. Just give them a template, an idea of what you need done, and they can do it to the T without a problem. The only different issue is you have to make sure you know what you want when you are delegating what needs to be done to somebody else. Moving on to number 4, always remember the reason you got started. And there's a perfect book for this. I don't know what happened to mine. I think I got jacked for it by somebody. I have to figure out who jacked me for it. But the book is called Start With Why, okay? And I don't remember the author. I will drop it in the captions below for you, in the description below for you guys. But start with why. This is going to help you get down to the very bottom, the nitty-gritty of why you're doing what you want to do. And when all else fails, this moves me to number 5. Always remember, discipline and consistency is what's going to keep you going when the motivation is not there. Okay? So you start with why. Start with why. Your why is going to help you to learn how to become disciplined and consistent. And in the midst of becoming disciplined and consistent, somewhere in your journey, I guarantee you, I promise you guys as mompreneurs, somewhere in the journey, you are going to lose that motivation that you once had in the beginning. That fire, that excitement, it's going to go away. I promise you it will. Eventually it'll come back. Don't get me wrong. It'll eventually come back. But it's going to go away at some point. When things get hard and frustrating and everything else, it's going to go away at some point. And you're going to be like, man, forget this. I don't feel like getting up to make these calls. I don't feel like getting up to write these emails. I don't feel like responding to I don't feel like that's going to happen. And it's normal, especially for a mompreneur. It's normal because not only are we dealing with the business, we're dealing with the kids, we're dealing with the family, we're dealing with if you're married or have a significant other, we're dealing with it all, okay? So don't allow the lack of motivation to deter you from your why, okay? So I hope that helped you guys out. If you like content like this, go ahead and subscribe, hit the notifications button, and I promise you there will be a lot more to come, whether it's Airbnb or Mompreneurship 101. But until next time, I am your girl Nella. Make sure you go ahead and follow me on Instagram and TikTok, where I am dropping stuff all day, every single day. See you guys later.